In this video, you'll discover unusual facts about England, practical travel tips most tourists miss, and the cities you actually need to visit to understand the country. And make sure you watch until the end, because I'll share one simple, proven way to save serious money on accommodation and transport in England. England is often reduced to a few symbols: a palace, a clock tower, a red bus. But behind those images is a country shaped by habits, systems, and everyday decisions that quietly affect how you travel here. Let's start with the facts that explain how England really works. Facts about England that actually matter. England drinks more tea than coffee, with tens of billions of cups consumed every year. But tea isn't about caffeine, it's a social tool. In homes, offices, and even during awkward conversations, tea acts as a reset. That's why cafes and kitchens are central to daily life. English is one of the most widely used languages in the world, but it's far from simple. Over half of modern English vocabulary comes from Latin and French roots, layered over older Germanic structure. This is why spelling feels inconsistent, and why English adapts so easily worldwide. England also runs on unspoken rules. Queuing is taken seriously. Jumping a line isn't just rude, it's seen as unfair. This applies everywhere: buses, cafes, ticket counters. The London Underground, opened in 1863, is the oldest metro system in the world. Some tunnels are still in use nearly 160 years later. That's why stations vary so dramatically. Victorian platforms sit beside modern extensions. Weather plays a practical role. England averages rain across more than half the year. As a result, locals dress in layers, plan flexible schedules, and rarely cancel plans because of rain. Traveling here is easier when you expect changes. Historic buildings are not preserved as displays. They are used. Pubs older than the United States. Churches holding daily services after 1,000 years. History here functions as infrastructure. Practical travel tips for England. First, distances are deceptive. England looks small, but travel time adds up. Trains are efficient but expensive if booked last minute. Advance tickets are significantly cheaper. Second, cash is no longer essential. Many places are card-only, including public transport in major cities. Make sure your card works internationally and doesn't charge high foreign transaction fees. Third, accents vary by region. London English is very different from northern or coastal accents. If you don't understand someone, asking them to repeat is completely normal. Fourth, food quality is higher than stereotypes suggest. Traditional dishes are filling and practical. Breakfasts are heavy. Roasts are structured meals. Street food and international cuisine are widely available, especially in cities. Fifth, many top attractions are free. National museums, galleries, parks, and historic neighborhoods often cost nothing. This makes England surprisingly budget-friendly if you plan correctly. London. Understanding the system. London is not one experience, it's dozens of neighborhoods operating at different speeds. Central London is dense and historic. Outer areas feel residential and local. Public transport works on contactless payment. Walking often reveals more than rushing between landmarks. London explains how England balances tradition with efficiency, but it's only one part of the story. Cambridge and Oxford. Education as identity. These cities exist because of their universities. Colleges control large parts of the city. Libraries and courtyards define movement. Tourism here is slower. People walk, read, and spend time outdoors. They show how deeply education is tied to national identity. York. Layers of history. York combines Roman walls, Viking history, and medieval planning. The city center remains compact. Walking is the best way to explore. Historic streets are narrow by design. Defensive architecture shaped daily life. York shows how England preserves continuity rather than replacing the past. The Lake District, landscape and scale. Lakes, hills, and villages define movement. Tourism focuses on walking, boating, and small towns. The area attracts visitors because it offers space without isolation. Northern cities, Liverpool and Manchester. Liverpool developed as a port city. Global trade shaped its culture. Music and football remain central. Manchester grew through industry. Textiles, engineering, and manufacturing built its wealth. Today, Both cities focus on regeneration, culture, and sport. Birmingham. Industrial foundation. Birmingham expanded rapidly during the Industrial Revolution. Canals here outnumber those of Venice. Modern Birmingham blends museums, design, and transport hubs. It's one of England's most connected cities. Section 9. The Cotswolds, rural England. Villages here are built from local limestone. Sheep farming shaped the economy. Tourism focuses on walking routes, market towns, and historic homes. It represents countryside England without isolation. Bath and Stonehenge. Bath developed around natural hot springs. Roman infrastructure defined the city layout. Stonehenge dates back over 4,000 years. Its construction required long-distance transport of massive stones. Its purpose remains unknown. Brighton. Coast and culture. Brighton developed as a seaside resort. It attracts creatives, students, and day trippers. The city has a strong independent business culture. Money-saving travel hack. Promised. Here's the practical tip most visitors don't know. If you're traveling across multiple cities in England, look into rail passes or rail cards. A rail card can reduce train fares by up to 1/3 and often pays for itself in 1 or 2 trips. For accommodation, budget hotel chains like Premier Inn are reliable, centrally located, and often cheaper than short-term rentals, especially when booked early. And for food, use supermarket meal deals. For a fixed low price, you get a main, a snack, and a drink. A common way locals save money. Used together, these strategies can reduce daily travel costs dramatically. If this video helped you plan smarter and travel better, subscribe for more travel stories and practical guides. And share it with someone planning a trip to England.